Hey folks, today in the spirit of Thanksgiving, yes, Thanksgiving was yesterday, today's Friday, and you will watch this on Saturday. But in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I just wanted to kind of go over why I'm so thankful this year by comparing it with the lowest year ever in my life. So this year, I'm sure for many people around the whole world, was one of the hardest years for them because of the coronavirus and all of the things that we've had to deal with because of that. People have been isolated, people have lost their jobs, people are worried about money, they're worried about sending their kids to school. They're having to decide between quitting their job to stay home because they've run out of, days to stay home versus sending their kid to a school with hundreds of other kids, maybe even thousands of other kids. And it's a hard decision. And it's been a tough year. For me, thankfully, it hasn't been the worst year ever. My worst year was the year of 2014. In 2014, I was at my highest weight of 320 pounds. My parents were going through a really rough divorce. Things had been done, the way that they split was just awful. They were arguing. And then a few months later, after they divorced, my mother was diagnosed with stage 3B colon cancer. And, that just changed everything for her. She was having struggles at work. She was having money struggles, and I was worried about that. I wasn't living near her at the time. I was out of state for college, very far away, basically on the other side of the country. I was in upstate New York, very close to Canada. And my partner at the time, he was having his own health issues related to like some brain function. He couldn't remember things, and that was scary too. I was at this point in my life where I just didn't really know who I could rely on because I had been overweight all my life. I had been overweight ever since I was maybe 5 or 6, maybe even before that. But I noticed it when I was around 6 years old or so, that I was different from everybody else. But all my life I had been overweight, and it really just ingrained in me this sense that I wasn't good enough. I didn't look like the people on TV. I didn't look like the Disney princesses. People made fun of me in school. I got made fun of because of my weight. People said inappropriate things about my weight that made me just want to shut down. Even people who were trying to be helpful would say things and I would want to shut down because I was just embarrassed that was the first thing that they saw about me. They saw me as just fat and all the bad connotations that we think of when we think of somebody who's fat. So all my life I had been kind of in this mental state of I am worthless, I am fat, so I can't do anything for myself. I've tried to get skinny many times. I've tried to lose weight all throughout my life. Even when I was a kid, I tried diets. None of it ever worked. So I never had the confidence to rely on myself or to feel self-sufficient. So in 2014, when just all the important people in my life were just, fracturing, and I had no self-confidence, I had no belief that I could affect any type of change in my life, that was just the worst feeling ever. I felt so alone. So that was probably the worst year of my life. I felt awful. I was getting this weird skin rash that was like itchy but then flaky. I don't know what it was. I think it was just due to me being overweight. I was in nursing school and all the walking was making me lightheaded and dizzy, and and all I had at that point in time was food. Food was the only thing at that point in my life that made me feel any type of better. Even if it was temporary, even if it was unhealthy, I just felt better. It was like a drug to me. It was just the highlight of my day when all of my day was spent worrying about family and finances and health and all of those things. But in 2015, I found this little diet called the keto diet or the ketogenic diet. And I was intrigued because they were talking about, eating fatty things, which all throughout my life I had heard low fat, whole grains, brown rice, all that stuff, fruits and vegetables. I had always heard that fat was the devil, kind of like I always heard that sugar was also a devil. But we always know on keto that sugar's in many things other than just candy. So I heard about keto. I got into forums online, on Reddit. I looked at YouTube videos, and I just kind of figured out for myself if it would work. And I said, I'm going to give this a real go. The food looks like something I would enjoy. I had tried veganism. I tried Atkins, I tried paleo, I tried all the things, South Beach, I tried Slim Fast, I tried fasting, I tried, just cutting out food altogether for weeks at a time. Yes, I could do that. I don't know. I would, maybe 4 or 5 times in my life, I wouldn't eat for like a whole entire week. I don't know, that's happened before. Anyway, so I tried keto after just realizing kind of what it was. And I was learning along the way too. And keto definitely changed my life. I could see those results within a couple weeks. I felt better. I felt more energetic. Within a month, you know, the selfie pictures I was taking, I could just see that something was changing. And so for once in my life, I was affecting a good change. I was able to control something in a good way. What I really liked about keto was that it wasn't so restricted that I hated it altogether, that I hated the food or the amounts that I could eat. It was restrictive enough though where I felt like I was actually making a change and like I was putting in effort, which made me feel better. So in the end, I lost 170 pounds and I reached my goal weight of 150 pounds. And it has been a wild ride. I feel like every year gets better. 2015 was such an improvement compared to 2014. Even though I still had the same stresses, even though my mom was still cancerous, even though my parents were still divorced, even though my significant other at the time was ill, even though finances were still really tough and I was in grad school out of state and I didn't know who I could depend on. I was just, you know, barely living. I don't know how I lived, like to buy food and drive my car with the gas in it. I don't know how that happened. Even with all those, because I finally felt like I had some control in my life and something finally good was happening that I was, you know, working towards. I had a goal and it was such a better year. And then every year after that got better. And then here I am today. You know, I'm just a girl who sits in front of her camera and talks about keto and health and weight loss. And yeah, sometimes I do, you know, struggle to make a video once a week. I work full time. I'm a teacher. This year has been so rough for teachers. Oh, the beginning of this school year with cohorts and having 5 preps already, and then having cohorts was like having 10 preps, and then when one cohort of one class got ahead of the other 3 cohorts, then I had 11 preps, and it was just a mental struggle to get it all, you know, in my head straight every day. Which class is this? Which unit are we on? That's just some teacher struggles, but I mean, so it's been tough. It's been a tough year teaching wise. Feeling guilty because even though for a while I was only seeing my students face to face once a week, I felt guilty because we weren't getting through the material as quickly as we should if it had just been a normal year. And even though I have no control over that, I still felt bad about it. Even though I can't see my grandma when she was ill because, you know, I'm around 100 students a day, I don't want to go get her sick. This year is still better to me than 2014 because I was in such a low place, and a lot of that came from my weight, from how heavy I was, how miserable I felt physically and mentally, how insecure I was, how out of control I felt over my life. Even though I'm still struggling with, you know, my mom's health issues, even though I'm not in the best place financially as I could be, even though work has been just very weirdly stressful this year, it's still not as bad as when I was overweight. And that's because losing the weight taught me 2 things. Losing weight taught me that I can have control over my life and I can have control over my decisions and how those affect my life. And I'm the only person who's in control of my life. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I can't control other people. I can't control the decisions that they make, and that relieves so much pressure off of my shoulders. When you have people in your life that don't want to help themselves, you feel that. You feel like you can make them change. You feel like you can change their decisions or the way that they think, but you can't. You can try and encourage them, you can cheer them on, but at the end of the day, those are their decisions. And so I can't stress over the things that I have no control over. But something I do have control over is my weight, because I control what I eat. Now, granted, when I was losing weight and I had all that motivation to get to my goal, I didn't cheat a bit. No, I was so excited. I just kept restricting those calories a little bit as I lost, and I was just on the motivation, you know, roller cycle, roller coaster, and I was in the zone. Maintenance has been different. I've talked about that a lot. And even though maintenance is its own struggle, I'm still in control. You know, I do restrict throughout the week so that I can enjoy the weekends and not have to worry about much. So that's just my approach to maintenance mode. It's definitely different from weight loss mode. And even though my eating habits have changed with this whole coronavirus and the schools, you know, being virtual for like the last 3 or 4 months of school, and, you know, that's affected my diet. It's affected my decisions about, you know, what I eat and how I eat and when I eat. But at the end of the day, I'm still in control, and I know that deep down. And that's what gives me pride. That's what keeps me going, is just knowing that I control what I do. And I'm so thankful for this year and the last couple of years, really. I feel like, especially with these videos and just my social life and my interactive skills with people, I feel like I've grown so much. So this year, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I'm just saying what I'm thankful for compared to, you know, 2014, which was the worst year, definitely, of my entire life. I am so thankful for my family. My mother, she's doing well. My grandmother, she got sick. She had coronavirus. She's all right. She's moving on. She seems like she's been doing pretty good. Relationship wise, if you guys have noticed, there's been a couple changes, but things are good. I feel blessed because of that. Work, even though it's been real stressful, I'm just thankful that I'm employed, because I know I've had family members that have lost their job due to coronavirus, and I know how tough it is, and I know that fear, because I didn't grow up rich. I didn't, you know, my family always struggled, so I know the fear that comes from when you're not sure how you're going to pay that electric bill, or you have to ask family to help you out. I know. So I'm thankful that, you know, even though the job is tough right now and we're not sure what's going to happen or what's happening, I'm just thankful that I am still employed. I'm in the process of buying a house, and that has been one of the biggest stresses of my whole life. I thought, oh, buying a house, that'll be fun. Nope, that ain't fun. So I just let people tell me what I need to do, because I have no clue what's happening. So, but it's just, that's been its own struggle. I'm buying a house because I realize I'm tired of paying, you know, a whole lot of money for a whole little space in an apartment. But I am thankful for what I have this year, for my health and the health of my family. Well, folks, if you enjoyed the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. That would help me out so much. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, I will link all of that down below. What are y'all's holiday plans? We had a very tiny Thanksgiving. Basically me, my brother, and my mom, and my boyfriend. We wanted to see my grandma, but she just recovered from coronavirus, and I don't want to get her sick. You know, like I said, I'm around students all day, every day, basically, so don't want to risk it. But let me know, what are your holiday plans? Are you gonna stay keto? I stayed keto for Thanksgiving. I just ate a whole heck of a lot. Like, I was super full after my second plate, but I had a third. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Allie. Happy holidays and have a good one. Bye.